Imagine playing on a basketball team and not knowing any of your teammates. You may be planning on running one play, and your teammate may be planning on running a different play. This could result in confusion among your team, and more than likely, your team will not be very successful. Team building is a necessity. Just like team building is important for sports teams, team building is essential in the workplace. According to an article, for a business or company to be successful, its members must have a solid communication method, be trustful, and be able to be ethical with one another. The only way for this to happen is through team building. I will now tell you how team building can create an effective workplace by following the 3 steps I mentioned above. Having good communication is key. Without communication, the business could fail. According to an article from Business Queensland, effective communication can help create a good working relationship among the staff members. Many people don't understand the idea that communication does not only mean speaking, it also means listening. If this were more well known, the communication within the workplace could be a lot more successful. According to an article in Monster magazine, trust is a characteristic that creates a supportive and safe work environment by building respect and loyalty. If a member of a business feels that they don't have trust from the other members or a manager, they will be more likely to leave the company rather than if they feel trusted and relied on. Successful businesses are based on relationships, and every good relationship begins with trust. Based on businessdictionary.com, to be ethical means to be fair and moral. It also means to understand right from wrong and knowing the standards for correct conduct. Within a business, it is crucial to be ethical. Not following the business standards could even result in employees being fired, and if those employees were well liked by customers, it could cause the company to lose business and income. A main reason why I think team building is very important in the workplace is simply because of relationships. Based on experience, it is much more enjoyable to work with people that you have connections with rather than people whom you don't know very well. Simply walking into work and having your coworkers welcome you each morning with a friendly hello can make the workday that much better. If you start off your day in a good place, it is more likely that you will be more efficient than if you were to start off the day feeling unwelcomed or distrusted. All of this shows that team building is very important in the business world, and if it weren't incorporated, the workplace could be unsuccessful. Now that we see why it is important, I will explain what could happen without team building. Today, most businesses don't require team building activities within the workplace. The main reasons for business failures all seem to relate back to team building. Based on Forbes.com, team building is the most important investment you can make for a business. Good team building results in more engaged employees, which can increase employee satisfaction and productivity and help a business run like a well-oiled machine. As I mentioned earlier, communication is key. I believe communication is the most important thing in any relationship, and relationships are the basis of every business. However, if there is no trust, which comes from team building, then good communication is very hard to incorporate in the workplace. Just as successful friendships need communication, successful companies require communication as well. Since team building is so valuable in the workplace, if there is an absence of it, the business could end up failing. For employees to work to their full potential, they need to know how to work with one another. The number one way this can happen is by getting to know each other and understanding the best way to communicate with each other. For example, if one employee knows that another employee is very direct, then this could help avoid hurt feelings by an employee who may be more sensitive. Depending on the type of workplace, different team building techniques can be used to get the more successful results. For example, a clothing store would require a different technique than a restaurant, and an office with cubicles would require a different technique than a doctor's office. The clothing store requires more on-the-floor salespeople, and these type of employees would need different team building than employees who answer phone calls in a cubicle all day. In addition, in a doctor's office, for example a dentist, the dental hygienist and the dental assistants need to know how to communicate and work together to best serve the patients. They could use team building to know who does what task when someone is upset about their fees or when someone comes to the office screeching in pain. Team building is a great way to improve this communication to result in the best service. All of this shows what the lack of team building in the workplace could result in. Now that we know the result of the absence of team building, what are some examples of fun and intriguing team building activities? Well, a very basic team building activity that every business should do is to simply bring the whole team out to a meal. This will allow the employees to get to know each other and understand everyone's personalities. Obviously, if a company has too many employees to do this, it would be done in modification. One substitution for this is for the boss to take out an hour or so of the day and set up a lunch in the office. This will allow the employees to walk around and chat with each other while enjoying the lunch break. Team building is all about engagement. So with this being said, the best way for team building to be done is by doing interactive activities. An example of this type of activity is a game called concentration. In the game, one partner turns around while the other is changing 10 things about themselves. It could be they're changing their hairdo, turning their shirt backwards, or taking off a shoe. Then the partner will turn around and try to guess what was changed. This will allow the partners to focus on each other, and more than likely they will realize things about the other that wasn't noticed before, for example, each other's eye color. Another activity that is a little more simple is to play a game like 21 questions. The manager could schedule a meeting at the beginning of the year specifically for everyone to get to know each other. Someone could bring up a question and every member, including managers, would go around and answer the question as it pertains to them. For example, a question could be about their family or where they are from. This can spark conversation and allow everyone to get to know each other at least a little bit. This will result in the employees working better together. As we can now see a few different ways that team building could be enforced in the workplace. After team building is done in the workplace, employees should be able to better communicate, be trustful, and be able to be ethical with each other. These are very important and can all be done through team building. By doing this, the team will be more in sync and able to work efficiently. Team building is key, just like communication. So whether you're in a sports field or court, working in an office with cubicles, or in a doctor's office, make the effort to get to know your teammates. It could change the way you work, increase your productivity, and make your workday brighter.